Do I look fat? Okay. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin wallets today. And my name is Adam Ficsor, and I'm the CEO of Bitcoin. At least I like to joke with that because it's so absurd. A couple of notes. This will be one. This is my email address. I'm going to show it, write it down. N Bitcoin. Is anyone familiar with N Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a Bitcoin library written in C#. So everyone who is coding programming in C# is going to use, and Bitcoin cannot avoid it. And Nicholas is the creator of that library. And he also wrote a book, what I co-authored, and probably that's the best book what a programmer can grab to learn about Bitcoin in a programming level. It's you just write in C# Bitcoin book, something like that, you're gonna find it. Is anyone programming in C# here? C#? Two C# programmers. Java? No, low-level stuff. Is anyone programming?
I use Rust.
Rust?
Rust.
Oh. I'm not familiar with that, actually.
It's a new systems language.
Okay. So anyone else is programming here? No? Okay. Yeah.
It's Scum.
Scum. Oh. And I'm also writing an API. It's called Hidden Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin wallet API. It's kind of half ready, but it is much more easily usable than N Bitcoin, and it is written on top of Nicholas's N Bitcoin. Okay. So far, who understand what I'm talking about? Just like to the English level. Do you guys understand me?
Yes.
Okay. And how familiar are you with Bitcoin? I mean, who has Bitcoin? Everyone. Perfect. And who is rather more of a blockchain person or Bitcoin person? So who is more of a technical blockchain, other cryptocurrencies way? And everyone else is more interested in Bitcoin. Okay. So it's going to be another joke. When I Google my name, it's gonna be this Hungarian politician, and because he done some pretty bad things. That's not good. Okay, but I'm actually here. And you can find me on GitHub or Reddit, Nopara73. That's how.
Today you don't wear a mask.
Today I don't. It is very hard to talk with a mask. But I should get a mask where you can talk better with a bigger mask. So the second most important part in the Bitcoin ecosystem are the wallets, Bitcoin wallets. Well, what is the first most important one?
Red wallet.
So mining, yeah, the Bitcoin core, the core protocol, working on the core. That's the most important. That's what makes Bitcoin what it is. And wallets are kind of second layers, but I mean wallets a lot more than would think, but you will see later. Almost every Bitcoin project is a Bitcoin wallet project. What does a Bitcoin wallet do? It securely stores the keys, the private keys, and that's one function. Monitors keys and the public blockchain, that's a second function. And builds transactions, submit them, propagate them on the network, things like that. If you think about almost any Bitcoin project does all of it or one of it. So maybe some educational Bitcoin project doesn't do something like that. But almost every Bitcoin project is working with Bitcoin wallets. Before we get into the wallet stuff, let's out of the box and more of the blockchain, the cryptocurrency opportunity. What kind of cryptocurrency opportunities we have? Don't care about the currency, but the blockchain stuff. This guy, anyone knows him? Richard Janda Brown.
He's working for R3.
Yeah,
He's you.
R3.
IBM.
Yeah, he's ex-IBM. Indeed, and he's the CEO of R3, and R3 is the biggest blockchain project of the world. Yeah, so a lot of big banks come together, put a lot of money, get a very, very good team, like Brown, Tim Swanson, Mike Hearn, if you heard about those people, and they are working on R3. A lot of people really hate them because of the big banks, of course. But actually, this guy is really good. He has his blog, Janda.ma, and you can learn a lot about Bitcoin at his blog. And I want to show you one of his theory of how to recognize blockchain opportunities. First of all, if your problem is not centralization, then it is not really an opportunity for you, for your project. You can try to solve every kind of problems with blockchain. That's very cool right now, but it doesn't really applies most of the time. For example, what Bitcoin solved? It was how to get consensus with a large group of people who do not know each other. This is what Bitcoin solved. And there are two scales, the decentralized scale and a centralized. Typical banking core system is on a centralized server. Bitcoin is, well, as people envision it, it is fully decentralized. But in reality, Bitcoin is not really fully decentralized, because fully decentralized would mean everyone is running his own full node or own mining node and on their mobile. So that would be fully decentralized Bitcoin, what we cannot achieve right now. And Bitcoin is not perfect. Yeah, so for a blockchain opportunity, we should think about the scale. That does your project unbundle some trust or not? For example, there are smart properties. In Bitcoin, you can do a lot of things. For example, on colored coins and counterparty. You familiar with colored coins or counterparty? how colored coin works? You let's not go into it. There are two kind of Bitcoin wallets, and now you will see what I mean by Bitcoin wallets, because there is Bitcoin wallets like Coinbase. I think everyone is familiar with Coinbase, right? That's a Bitcoin wallet. But also Bitcoin exchanges like a famous Mt. Gox. Anyone is get lost? Okay. Bitfinex. Anyone? No, not really. So these are centralized Bitcoin wallets. So Bitcoin casinos, just normal Bitcoin businesses, they are Bitcoin wallets too. Or the Silk Road. And anyone lost coins there? Oh yeah, one.
Lots of people are always saying this is a Bitcoin wallet. Everybody say that, but I think it's a misleading term. I think the correct term should be, but nobody uses it, should be Bitcoin accounts.
Yeah.
Because a Bitcoin wallet, by definition, you cannot pick my wallets, but you can pick what is in my account if you're in bank. So generally, they should be called Bitcoin bank, Bitcoin accounts.
Bitcoin Bank.
Yeah.
A lot of people were using Silk Road as their main wallet. Silk Road is a marketplace.
They're bank accounts.
Yeah, so Silk Road was a marketplace. Centralized Bitcoin wallets like Mycelium, Bread Wallet, or Bitcoin Core, Electrum, Blockchain Info. Probably these names are familiar. I like to call them decent Bitcoin wallets compared to centralized ones. Let's go into the main theory of today. Properties of good money. Can we say some? What kind of properties money has? These things comes up a lot these days, like anonymity, I call it fungibility. Other things like portability and durability, divisibility, scarcity, acceptability. We go through it, but not like in other talks, like economists go through it, but we're gonna see they are applied in Bitcoin projects, because the marketing of Bitcoin is, oh my God, we have a money completely decentralized, instantly sendable and anonymous and every kind of stuff, but it's just not true. We have problems with these properties, and every problem is the opportunity. That's why we have centralized wallets, because centralized wallet solves some of these properties, but Bitcoin doesn't handle well, but we will see soon. Yeah, so this is exactly the same what I said, just better explained.
You can say that the coin in Bitfinex are not durable.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it. So why do we have centralized Bitcoin wallets? They are improved on the acceptability. So usually exchanges accept speculation on fiat currencies and other things like that. So they basically improve the acceptability of fiat currencies, and they need to do that to improve the portability. I mean, if Bitcoin would be would be totally instant, then there wouldn't be need for exchanges to keep your money, because it could just change it. They would still hold your Indonesian or US dollar, they would still hold that, but they wouldn't need to hold your Bitcoin. If you want to just speculate, change your money back forth, order, not order, that's why it's not instant. It needs 10-minute confirmation times, sometimes even more. Basically, portability is usability too. So I just like to put it there. Or durability. Durability, it damages the durability, the centralized Bitcoin wallets. Durability means if you have a car 300 years ago and you want to pay with a car in the market, cool. Okay, let's say chicken, because I'm not sure I pronounce it well. So if you have a chicken and you take it to the market, in the way it can, for example, but your money probably is not going to die, but your chicken maybe. Durability is basically security too. For example, in a Bitcoin wallet, centralized Bitcoin exchange, durability can mean that you are losing your, if the exchange loses your Bitcoin, then that's it. It's not durable. Your Bitcoin died. We have room to improve it because exchanges get hacked all the time. Scarcity. Oh my God, we know Bitcoin is totally scarce, 21 million Bitcoin, but it's not true because of centralized exchanges. But I will talk about it more later. Fungibility, why centralized exchanges? Centralized exchanges damages anonymity and fungibility because of regulation. They won't know your customer and things like that. Or BTCE, they don't really damage fungibility because no one really knows who's the CEO. Well, that's one of the biggest exchange in Bitcoin. That's a very rare scenario. Yeah. The easiest part is Bitcoin's divisibility. Oh, this is just a lot of crux for high school students. So no, probably not high school students. So divisibility. Bitcoin is basically infinitely divisible. It's implemented on the core level. You can divisible Bitcoin. I guess 8. A Bitcoin can be divisible by 8 times, right? One Satoshi.
Actually, it's possible to divide the Satoshi. There is a Rusty from Blockstream that found a way to send a fraction of Satoshi to someone else. So you can even divide a Satoshi, but it's a kind of probability. For example, you can say you are 30% to get Satoshi.
This will be very useful in the future when Bitcoin reaches $1 million. It will.
At this point, I won't have any problem anymore.
But even if, I mean, if we have consensus, then we can just add some more decimal places, and we won't have problem. Acceptability. It's pretty not good. Bitcoin is not accepted in a lot of places, but it's still much better than how it was 1 year ago. For example, well, I'm not going to talk about the black markets now, but in Taiwan, did you know that in Family Marts there are even more family marts in Taiwan than here in Japan. In family marts, you can use Bitcoin. That's like, oh my God, right?
But how does it work? You go to the cashier and you pay with your phone? Or?
No, there are some machines, and you go to the machine, get some family mart gift cards with Bitcoin, and then you change
okay, so
it.
you can buy family card,
Yes,
gift card
yes.
at the store and then use it for paying.
Not the best, but not like they would directly accept it, but
You don't care, you don't stare with it.
it's improving, yeah.
It sounds like very easy exchange.
Yes, yes.
So is it very popular?
Not that popular. I mean, I never seen anyone do that, but I did it. The next is durability. Durability is, your car do not get sick. Bitcoin's durable and kind of secure if the Bitcoin wallets are decentralized, not centralized, then we won't have any. I mean, small people can lose small money, but a lot of people cannot lose a lot of money. But we have room to improve Bitcoin's durability because a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin like in the future. In the future, everyone will have decentralized wallets and things like that, and Bitcoin is perfectly durable. Not true, because we have centralized wallets, we cannot deny it, and they are getting hacked. The other scarcity of Bitcoin, so we have 21 million Bitcoin, and well, never going to be more. Actually, we are about here, so we have maybe 17 million Bitcoin right now, and less and less and less, and it tops at 21 million. So this is the theory, but theory and practice are the same in theory, but in practice they are not. it's funny. So in practice, we have centralized Bitcoin exchanges, okay? And we don't really know. People were buying Bitcoins, not existing Bitcoins for years. So maybe we already have, I don't know, 100 million Bitcoins. We just don't know. We have no idea how to measure it. And this is a huge problem.
It's the same problem with gold. It's more
Yeah.
gold in paper than real.
Yeah, and we can easily get to that point when, for example, Bitcoin ETF, you heard about it? There will be, oh my God, from 2013, the Winklevoss brothers are launching Bitcoin ETF, and the decision is going to be made, I think, in 1 month. It's going to be very interesting because people who cannot move their money out of the stock markets and things like that, now they can just buy into Bitcoin, and it will probably be the biggest catalyst for the price if it gets approved. What is cool, the price is going to go up, we're going to get rich. But in the end, it's a centralized place where they are holding other people's Bitcoin, and who knows, like, they don't get hacked. I mean, there will be regulations, but it would be better if it wouldn't be this way. Well, who cares? The price will go up. Yeah. In the future, Bitcoin exchanges are not going to get hacked. Not going to get hacked. And it's just an interesting thing. Why do I think that? Because of Lightning Network. So, in what happens when I don't have to read it, it's just for something, my blog post. In Lightning Network, it will enable instant transactions. Okay, that will be really good because exchanges can work from now on in that way that you can, so they can provide wallets for customers that are the customers are storing the private keys. They are in control of their crypto funds. Their USD stuff still can get hacked, but that's just not that likely. I mean, that's probably never happened before. I mean, so if portability becomes possible, instant transactions becomes possible with Lightning Network, then exchanges doesn't have to keep your money because they can settle trustlessly with you. What will make in the future a lot of exchanges actually bankrupt, because this kind of exchange is going to come up, the Lightning Network exchanges, Lightning model using, and the other exchanges what are already bankrupt, they will not be able to get back the money. They are not going to change to the new model because they just, I mean, why don't we have any idea how much bitcoins they have? They just don't tell us. That's, they could just provide some address. Some of them actually do, but most of them they don't. Why? Are they bankrupt? I don't know. Yeah, no need to store bitcoins in a centralized server. And we can come back to the same thing, that basically this Lightning model will solve Bitcoin's durability, the security of the exchanges, pushing the responsibility to the customers, and the scarcity, the fake Bitcoins, what our people are buying on the exchanges. Yeah, so portability. This is the next one. This is almost the last one. Do we know how? Okay, so the Bitcoin blockchain, a new block is mined, and we can send transactions. We can see those transactions are there. We ensure that transaction is gonna stay there until it is confirmed. Oh yeah, so under the portability, I would put the QR code method and the Bitcoin addresses, and this kind of stuff are very, you know, I don't know, if I go to a bar what accept Bitcoin, I don't really pay with Bitcoin because it's just a big hassle. I mean, get your phone, the internet is not good, and QR code and things like that, and they don't know how to handle. It's not good enough yet. Under the portability, I like to put usability too, because it's kind of the same. It's how usable, how convenient it is to use. Of course, we can do a lot of things with Bitcoin, not just QR code and Bitcoin addresses and paper wallets, for example. But we still have to figure out what are the most convenient and make it widespread. What is the most convenient way to use Bitcoin? There is a lot of opportunity in it too.
For paying on internet, it's the simplest way.
Yeah, actually,
As
yeah.
user interface, there is nothing that beats it, but I agree that in person, cash is more easier.
Exactly. And yeah, this is anyone's familiar with Mr. Robot? Mr. Robot is a very popular TV series, American, and it just aired Bitcoin in it that you cannot really see. I mean, I cannot see here, but this is armored car what has a Bitcoin QR code and Bitcoin whatever on it. You know, that's kind of funny because that's how they transport Bitcoin, or what does it mean? They are transporting with an armored car.
I think they're transporting cats. Because if it's a car for buying and selling Bitcoin,
It's a Bitcoin
they
car.
exchange with something else.
It's a Bitcoin car.
Yeah, but it's like an ice cream car, right? You just go to the truck and you buy your Bitcoin, right?
I don't know. So portability. Portability. Okay, so for the last thing, what I personally feel like the most important is and the most flawed thing in Bitcoin is the fungibility. And here is the most opportunities people can have, and here are probably the most projects. But a lot of people does not really value anonymity and fungibility. So let's build something on top of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin wallet. I'm going to show you why anonymity matters. A Bitcoin wallet that's going to be completely transparent. For example, we know Bitcoin is only used by criminals. That's why we make these design choices. And only criminals want anonymous transactions, right? Right. And law-abiding citizens have nothing to hide. And for these things, what usually comes up, we can have a simpler solution. Let's build a Bitcoin wallet where we only have one Bitcoin address. And that will be fine, right? One Bitcoin address, and we're going to send Bitcoins from there. And yeah, so I spent half an hour and I actually built it, called it Transparent Wallet. It's very easy. I mean, send and get Bitcoins always here. And you can build it in half an hour, but still, you know, millions of, I don't know, thousands of developers' hours goes into building Bitcoin wallets. Okay. Building a Bitcoin wallet is extremely easy if you don't care about privacy. Who would use this wallet? No one used this wallet. Okay, why not? How many criminals are in the room? Okay, so you have nothing to hide. but you have something to protect. And the best way to protect something is you try to hide it. There is this thing, banks don't like Bitcoin because it is anonymous. For example, you can hear a lot that Bitcoin is completely transparent and you can see everything on the blockchain, and this is really how people argue, because Bitcoin is actually pseudonymous. So we can see every transactions, we just don't know who owns what address. But it is still not a great way to provide privacy, because sometimes some address can be connected to some person. So banks don't like anonymous because don't like Bitcoin because it is anonymous, but it is false. Banks don't like Bitcoin because it is not anonymous. Let me say what I mean by that. In the financial system, traditional financial system, you are basically anonymous to other people. Okay, but not for the banks. So banks knows everything about you, but your friend is not going to know anything about your transactions. Banks has to provide anonymity to the people. I mean, in Bitcoin, it is very hard to. In Bitcoin, it is hard to be anonymous if you are a bank, because banks likes to be anonymous, and that's why they don't like Bitcoin, because they cannot be anonymous. And let's go through a few technique, like where is the Bitcoin development right now in the fungibility space. Very, very old technique, centralized mixers. If you think about that, and people actually use it, Bitcoin wallets are Bitcoin exchanges, Bitcoin casinos, and every kind of this kind of stuff are used as a Bitcoin centralized mixer. They are actually used by those functions. And centralized mixers, if you send some Bitcoins in, some other people send some Bitcoin in, it's mixing together and comes out some Bitcoin, and the chain is broken. And to be fair, this is the best way to break the chain. So it's not very in the mainstream Bitcoin community, but
And you can do that in regulated exchanges. That's
yes.
a good point.
Yes, yes. Who heard about CoinJoin? CoinJoin is basically a technique where in Bitcoin you can join together some Bitcoin, and those are going to be the inputs of the transactions. And you can join together some Bitcoin. I mean, you can specify a few address, and the transactions can goes out in more places. So this is only one transaction. Bitcoins go in and out. Okay, this is not the best graph. What it is about to tell you that Bob sent 20 Bitcoin, and this is 15, sorry for my Hungarian, 15 Bitcoin to Ted. And from that 20 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin comes back to Bob, and some for the miner fees. So basically, Bob joined together the output of his transactions, him and 5 to Ted. Join together the coins. This is CoinJoin. Anyone with blockchain info? Blockchain.info. It's a Bitcoin web wallet, and he's providing, or maybe it doesn't provide anymore, but was very popular shared coin. Basically, what happens is it joins together a lot of people's transactions, like this, and give it out to addresses. But in the end, it is pretty vulnerable, because if you think about it, for example, this transaction, this person sent this transaction, this many Bitcoin, cannot see, but we could just figure out which address it arrived. Okay, for example, if it has the same amount of, then we would be 100% sure that it arrived here. Well, this is CoinJoin, and it does not break the chain. This is pretty bad this way. There was another problem with this. For example, if you just want to start a wallet, then you have to have volume, because if in the same time a lot of people doesn't want to join transaction, only you want to join transaction, then you are not joining anything, you just send the transaction. So your wallet cannot make it happen. And what Join Market solved was this, that, for example, Dorian is a Join Market maker who is waiting for your orders, and in a server orders, and he's going to join the transactions together with you in order to provide you privacy. This is what Join Market is. It's very actually famous, probably the most well respected thing what we have at the space right now, Join Market. It is using the same CoinJoin like ShareCoin, but it solved the problem of transaction amounts, because it basically, the makers like Nicholas provide the same transaction amount, so they want to join together the same transaction amount with you. So basically, if you send 5 Bitcoin, Nicholas sent 5 Bitcoin, comes out 5 Bitcoin here, comes out 5 Bitcoin here. You are not sure which one transaction what you need. It's still not perfect. It doesn't break the chain, but it's much better.
One thing to note about Join Market is that so you can get fees by helping others to improve privacy, and you can earn. So it takes time to configure correctly, but you can earn around 1% a year on your Bitcoin. And if you look at it, it's better than a bank account, basically. So, and it's without risk, because it's on your own computer. So it's kind of an interesting technique.
Okay, and the newest thing is a few days old announcement in Shuffle. Mycelium called it Shuffle Puff. So it's a very new thing. It's almost 1 week that they were coding this thing, and basically with Join Market, Nicholas is waiting for your orders on a IRC server, and so there is that server, and with ShufflePuff, Coin Shuffle, you don't need a central server for that. So it's a completely decentralized CoinJoin. It's still not out. It works on the Bitcoin testnet, but it will be good, I think. Another thing is sidechains. Bitcoin sidechains. who is bullish about altcoins, Bitcoin altcoins, like really like to buy and sell and things like that, speculate on it. What is totally fine. It's totally fine. I mean, but when they announced sidechains, I realized altcoins are basically useless, going to be useless in the future, because sidechains are going to get every technical attributes what altcoins have right now, and but with the value of Bitcoin. So how sidechains work? Here is the Bitcoin blockchain. Here is a sidechain, and basically you send some Bitcoin to the sidechain, and the sidechain operates like it would be Ethereum or Monero or whatever. It operates in the same way, but with the stability, value stability of Bitcoin. That's huge. And basically you are storing Bitcoin, so so you can speculate on sidechains for a few years now, but in the end, don't forget about it, because when sidechains, there are a few theories how sidechains going to be on Bitcoin, but the most probable one is that every altcoin what is existing right now just going to pull as a sidechain, just as with a script or whatever. So I wouldn't be very. I was investing in altcoins before sidechains came along. Now I'm sometimes speculating. I don't say investing anymore. And the privacy aspect of Bitcoin, it's going to elevate, because you can have now private sidechains like Monero. Monero is a pretty famous altcoin with dark coin. It's called Dash now. Its old name is Dark Coin, but the name was too dark, so they changed to Dash. And so it is not an altcoin yet, but it is the hottest thing right now in Bitcoin, that someone just came out with this protocol. I'm not even sure how it works. They are probably going to implement it as a sidechain. This will provide anonymity to Bitcoin. I mean, the very smart people are the most excited about Mimba. A guy just came up, like Satoshi, like no one knows who he was. He signed the message as Voldemort from Harry Potter. I mean, Tom Denham or something like Voldemort's old name. And Mimba is actually a Harry Potter curse, I think, right? I think so. I mean, I was too young. I didn't know English when I was reading Harry Potter, so. Mimba. And we are about to end the presentation. What I am working on right now is the API, what I was talking about. It's the Hidden Bitcoin API. This is the GitHub repository, Hidden Bitcoin. Probably this is the best documented API we have in Bitcoin. I mean, I document everything and very easy to use. If you're a C# programmer, you should totally check out. Not completely ready yet. I'm writing the tests and things like that. And I am going to write a wallet on it called Hidden Wallet. What I would like to use, enable people to use the privacy techniques like Join Market, Shuffle Plus, whatever. Just make it very easy, because you can go use Join Market and, oh my God, what's happening here? Join Market wallet is like crazy hard to use. everything. So, how to evaluate opportunities in the blockchain space? Easy. If you are involved in a blockchain project? If you are decentralizing, if your problem is centralization, then your project is not stupid. If your project is not centralization, you are not unbinding trust, then your project is like shouldn't be a blockchain project. And like 99% of blockchain projects are misguided. And what about if you are in cryptocurrency? If you are interested in a cryptocurrency space as a money aspect of Bitcoin or other, does your project improve upon one of the property of money? If your answer is yes, then you go back and what does it decreases? you check out. If your answer is yes, then you cannot be in such a bad project. But if your answer does not, then maybe you're not in the right track. Yes, it's very important. I am not this guy. This cat is cool. And these are my contacts. Anyone wants to write down something? And I like to finish this with a video I just did a week ago, a few weeks ago. Oh my God, can I? Yeah. So if you think Bitcoin is not cool, then watch this video and decide after. That's it. Okay, do we have some questions?
What's my phone number?
I can give you that later. All right.
I'm wondering why sidechain will replace every altcoin.
Not every altcoins. I mean, there will still be some use case for some brand coins or some crowdfunding, pump and dump. It's not a nice use case, but that's a use case. I mean, you know what you got into.
The only thing that sidechain are adding is the peg to Bitcoin, so you can invest in a chain and then get back your Bitcoin later. Be sure that's the only thing that's happening. My sentiment renewals on this.
So is it?
If they don't provide technically more, then they might provide more in not technical way, but like brands or something like that. That's possible, but I don't think that's very important.
Do you think when sidechain will be available?
What?
Where can I see sidechain actually functioning?
Just talked about Nicolas.
I think that not
4 years.
With Liquid, I think they're already doing
But they are federated sidechains.
Yes, yes. So you need some trust, but I guess it would take 2, 3, 4 years, I guess.
Yeah, so 4 years, you have still time.
So basically, federated sidechain means there is a trust relationship between the other chain and some particular signatures protect the bank. So it's not very ideal.
And what would you say for Lightning Network? When?
Oh, I hope very soon. So Lightning Network, I think that when it will release, I guess it will be mostly for geek, kind of hard to use. And before it become really for mainstream, I guess it will take 2 or 3 years, I guess, because everything is still need to be built. You know, we have to figure out how to make a nice user interface, how to do it securely. There's still lots of stuff to solve and take time, I guess. 2 or 3 years, I'd say.
So 2 or 3 years Lightning Network, and let's say 6 years when this gets to the point that they are not going to get hacked. But I was explaining.
So my company, for example, in Switzerland, we're working toward making possible from your bank accounts to buy Bitcoin directly. So we want to bypass exchanges. So maybe it will have to not have any changes.
Yeah, I mean, there are other companies like Shapeshift. Anyone knows about Shapeshift? You basically, well, decentralized, let's say decentralized, alternative currency exchange. So you send some Bitcoin and some Ethereum comes out. They basically don't hold your funds. That's a great thing. To send some dark coin Dash and some Bitcoin comes out, I don't know, in half an hour. So this kind of exchange, Shapeshift got hacked once. What happened? It didn't made the whole Bitcoin economy. They didn't crash the price. It was not such a big deal, no. So yeah.
I'm wondering, Shapeshift is not supposed to have users' funds, because if I send some Bitcoin, I will get some other coins automatically. Or was they hacked?
I think they are keeping funds in some small amount of time. For some reason, I'm not sure how exactly they work.
When you're sending Bitcoin to them, they need to store your Bitcoin somewhere. So they have to have some hot wallets.
Yes.
The money that they are sending on the portal it comes from a reserve. So
it doesn't come from another user. If you send Bitcoin and one Ethereum, Ethereum doesn't come from another user. It comes from their wallet, from their reserves. That's the answer.
But actually, it's they may in the future once so like the Lightning Network is also possible on other altcoins, and it is possible in theory for that cross chain. So basically, it's possible in theory to have a Shapeshift where there is no hot wallets, where you send to one, I don't know, you send Bitcoin to a Lightning Network and you come out on, I don't know, Litecoin, for example, the cryptocurrency Lightning Network.
Basically, they only have to store the orders, you know.
Yeah.
And when there is another user wants to buy similar amount of Bitcoins or whatever, then they can just switch it.
Mm.
I've got a question about the visibility. Maybe Nicholas, you said you sent a fraction of a Satoshi, and there was a probability of a certain account. Could that be used as a random number generator?
Yeah, so I don't remember exactly the data. It was Rusty from Blockstream that published about that. But the idea, if I remember, was to add a new opcode. If I remember right, a new opcode in the Bitcoin script language that is called oprandom. And the source of this random number will be the block ID, basically. It will be the block ID where the transaction is mined. So basically, you can say, okay, you can use this oprandom to send to somebody, and so, for example, you say if the block that mines the transaction starts with a 1 to someone else. If it starts from a 0, send to somebody else. And so in this way, you can send a fraction of Satoshi, because if you send a Satoshi with this thing, then someone will have 50% to get it, and the other person 50%. So basically, it's like if you send half of a Satoshi. But I think the most easiest way would be to just really add some decimal. But at least it's nice to know that with a soft fork, we can increase the divisibility of Bitcoin.
Yeah. And mainly you spoke about anonymity with regards to the mixers, the Bitcoin mixers.
Yes.
That, break the chain.
Yes.
And by that you mean the traceability of a particular sequence of addresses going all the way back.
Yeah, exactly. It breaks the chain, so someone from outside cannot see what came in and came out, but it has some problems because they can just steal your Bitcoins like normal exchanges, or they can log the transactions and FBI gets them, then
so Mixer is basically
public.
nice for external people that look at it externally. But yes, the Mixer know where it comes from and where it goes.
You have to trust the mixer.
Yes.
So it's still Bitcoins.
But if you are using an exchange, for example, you can. So basically, yes, they will know that you send some money and then you send it somewhere else. But someone exterior won't be able to see, so it's kind of trade-off. You give this information to the exchange, but other people around the world cannot trace it. I think it's a nice way to use exchanges. Just sending back Bitcoin and then withdrawing it. It's kind of nice way to clean them, I guess.
Well, it will also make sure that the exchange is giving you real Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's why you need to withdraw at some point. And be careful that your Bitcoin does not happen to be on the exchange when it gets hacked.
It's not that hard. I never get hacked. I was storing like 3 or 4 hacked exchange. I don't know, I stored some stuff there, like some altcoins, but in the end I could always withdraw before that happened. So I was lucky. I don't store anymore in exchanges.
So I'm wondering, you will make a privacy-oriented wallet.
Yes.
But how is it different from Red Wallet? So as far as I see, Red Wallet is very good enough for me. And if you like to develop something new,
You can still trace the coins with Red wallets.
What?
You can. I was responding. You can still. So, for example, if I analyze the blockchain, I can basically know all of your transaction of Red wallets. You know, if there is tricks to, because you never break the chain. For example, if you send Bitcoin to me, then there is exchange that go back to you. This exchange, this change to know where you send it again to another, when you send it again to someone else. So it's kind of okay, but it's not perfect.
You can imagine right now, we are sometimes using Bitcoin, like sometimes. But if we would use Bitcoin all the time, every kind of little transactions, this kind of wallets like Red Wallet, they couldn't be viable solution. And if we would use Bitcoin for everything, then we would leave so many traces that every transaction of ours, someone could anonymize them, and that would be not cool. I mean, I would not be happy if someone would know everything, like, where did I buy that marijuana yesterday? I didn't. In Asia, it's impossible.
so the wallet will be more, will distribute address more.
I want to use anonymity techniques, what are existing today, but make for normal people possible to use them, because now we have things, but it's just so hard. Like no one can use
So
this.
your wallet will automatically connect to a mixer and provide the option.
I want to provide more option, yeah, like
Those
centralized mixer and join market. It depends on. I mean, it is developing so fast that when I started, I wanted to use join market. Now this Shufflepath came out, and it's probably a better way to. So there are just a lot of things to coming out. So always the best techniques I want to use.
Ambitious, because even, okay, probably you can make better privacy-oriented wallet, but at the same time, you need to make user interface and user experience. That's a very challenge, I guess.
I think that's the easiest part.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for your great wallet.
Yeah. All right.
Are you alone? Are you alone?
Yeah,
Will you develop with yourself?
I am totally alone.
And
Yes.
when it's gonna be, when can I use it?
It depends on how lazy I will be. I mean, I'm working on it for like half a year in my free time, but it's on my free time, not like 8 hours a day, because developing Bitcoin wallets does not make money. But
Why are you making it?
a few projects in my mind before I started, but this seemed like the biggest adventure to do. I could have do Bitcoin tutorials and videos and things like that, but this is just much more challenge.
Yes, because it's fun. It's
Yes, and because it's needed.
challenge. Do you like that challenge?
Yes.
Great. Any other question? Don't you expect for feedback or preparation from Japan?
Who did not understand anything today? No one.
But you are measuring economics.
I
Therefore,
do finance, but I don't have like any particular like basic knowledge of the Bitcoin. So I did a little like research, but didn't understand like most on.
it's a good chance for you to know further about Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, that was really informational. Like I didn't know there were like so many things to the Bitcoin. So yeah, that gave me some kind of like perspective.
Mhm.
Bitcoin sucks, but we are working on it. So if it wouldn't have problems, there wouldn't be anything to work on. Protocol would be perfect, then what would we work on? So, yes.
I have a question. What did you talk about in the beginning? It's like we got lost trying to get you. Anyhow, I understand every 4 years the Bitcoin's values can be evaluated. Is that the right word? Or mapped or whatever. So the next the value this year, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
So
Not
what
long
means
ago.
by 2020 you need to have everything set in order to make sure.
Every 10 minutes there is an amount of Bitcoin that are needed So before it was, this year, at the start of the year, it was 25, and every 4 years divided by 2.
Right.
So this year it got to 12 that time. And every 4 years until there is no disconnect between the fence.
Right. So if there are any projects that are going on, it's best that it's done in between those intervals. During the 4-year intervals,
Yeah.
it's probably best to complete the project during those 4 years in order to make things a bit more.
Well,
easy to
there
understand.
is maybe, I don't know, but maybe in the future, if there is a hard fork in Bitcoin, maybe it's a nice thing to do, would be to make this very smoother,
Right.
because divided by 2
You see.
every 4 years is pretty tragic. You know?
Right.
Here is the graph. Every 4 years, you see there is a that makes it is the supply of Bitcoin.
Right. Right.
Every 4 years, it's getting less and less leveraged. It's less and less Bitcoin is going to get out. That's how the supply is not fixed at 21 million, but it's getting closer and closer to 21 million.
It would be best if it was smoother, because when it's a big market event, divided by 2 every 4 years. But
We have something to celebrate. Come on.
That's true.
Would you like to change it with hard fork?
Would be a good idea. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's going to change Satoshi's protocol.
Yes,
But wait, is it a
will not
problem?
be-
Why is it a
will
problem?
Not be
I don't get it.
contentious. It doesn't change anything. It means that the amount of Bitcoin will still be 21%, but instead of having a sharp decline of Bitcoin
I see.
emission every 4 years, and it will be smoother.
I see.
I think everybody will like it.
I see.
I think.
Is it already on the topic?
So Luc Gier is working on proposal, but I don't remember if he included it. But he showed, I think he showed when he does this proposition.
At least you and the Luke Junior is proposing smooth.
Well, I am, and I think other people ask for that too. I think it won't be very contentious. It doesn't change anything to the economy.
It would be. Just think about Ethereum. There's no reason to use Ethereum Classic. I mean, there were this philosophical concept, but in the end, the exchange included it because the exchange, Poloniex, can make money with it. So it just included it. So it's just gonna include all the Bitcoin fork too, you know?
Yeah.
Because they can make money with it. And
Yeah, I read, so Luke Junior also found a way to make sure that if there is a hard fork, one of the 2 chain die. I don't remember. I don't know the details of the, but he managed to find a sort of way.
awesome.
So, but I don't know where it's what are the limitations. I think the trick is that all miners are still producing blocks that are accepted by the whole chain, but there is no transaction inside it or something like that. But yeah. So for people who didn't follow, in Ethereum there was another blockchain, and they made a contentious change, and there was a fork. So it means that at one, now there is 2 currencies instead of 1. So it was a bit problematic. And the point is that even if there is no contentious subjects, even if some to make a hard fork, there is still some trader that like to speculate and that can keep the old currency living. And it's kind of problematic. It's a design flaw of blockchains. There's no nice way to solve that. And exchanges also are happy because when there is a fork, it means that there is lots of speculation, and exchanges like speculation because they make money out of this. So that's why when there is a change to Bitcoin, it should be very not contentious.
Luke Dash Jr. has the idea to kill the weak chain.
Yes, yes, but I don't know, technically speaking, how we does that. I have not read this proposal yet. But yeah, it got something. But the majority chain keep producing block for the other chain as well. So nobody can really use the old one.
Thank you. Thank you very much.